The comedy is raining down like cats and dogs on episode 29 of the Penthouse Basements Podcast. Topics discussed include a spoiler-free Netflix Glow review, secret improv teaching techniques, more mad about you than anyone has talked about in decades, a Penthouse Basements Improv Club update, and our most controversial choose-your-own-adventure book yet. All this and more next on episode 29 of the Penthouse Basements Podcast.
The Penthouse Basements Podcast.
Penthouse Basements Podcast. Penthouse Basements Okay, so you were discussing indoor-outdoor hot tubs. Tell us your experience with an indoor-outdoor hot tub.
So the Massanutten Ski Lodge has a water park, and they actually closed the outdoor part of the hot tub, because
the murders.
No, the lifeguards couldn't monitor it because they couldn't see out. So now it's only indoor, which sucks, but back when it used to be indoor-outdoor, and it's winter, so because you're skiing, and just a hot tub in winter, to me, there's nothing better.
Oh, yeah. So there's a Mystery Science Theater movie called Avalanche, and in one of the scenes, there was a large heated swimming pool, and half of it was outdoors and half of it was indoors, and I thought it was just the coolest thing. But it took place in the 70s, so...
Everything had water in it back then, like water beds,
I had a water bed for 15 years.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because when my brother was old enough to get, my big girl bed, even though he's a boy, my parents, at the age of 9, were like, pick out whatever bed you want. And my babysitter had a queen-size water bed, so that's what I wanted. And that's what I got, was a queen-size water bed.
It's 2017. You want to be more gender neutral, so it's a big person's bed.
To be fair, my brother is now a foot taller than me, so he really took that big boy bed to heart.
What if you would have continued sleeping on it? You would be the bigger one now.
Actually, I think I'd be brain damaged because it was a loft, and I roll around a lot, and I would often fall out of it or roll down the stairs, so it was probably a good thing that I stopped being in that bed.
Did the waterbed prevent you from thrashing around so much?
No, I roll around like crazy. I'm sure it was just noisy to other people.
Instead of pajamas?
But it did have a rim on it, so I had more trouble falling out of it. So eventually, I would just sleepwalk into the next room.
Instead of pajamas, your mom and dad had to wrap you in bubble wrap before you went to bed every night.
Yeah, they were not very concerned parents. I would roll down the ladder, and I would wake up hours later in a heap. And in the morning, I'd be like, guys, didn't you hear me fall out of bed? And they were like, yeah, we checked on you. You were there. And I was like...
There wasn't any blood.
But, could you tell that I was asleep?
You were
or
unconscious
was I
at the bottom of the ladder. What could possibly be wrong?
Yeah, they didn't even, no mirrors held up under my nostrils, nothing. They're very hands-off parents.
She's fine.
So, yeah, it's a good thing my brother got to bed. The worst thing he does in his sleep is sleeps with his eyes open, which is super creepy.
That's crazy.
It's so creepy. Ugh.
Do hippos do that too?
I'm unfamiliar with hippos sleeping.
That kind of caught me by surprise.
I don't know. Rhinos or hippos.
I do this one thing in class where I talk about fish belly buttons, and then I have to explain to them how fish don't have belly buttons because they're not mammals. And every class I teach this to, the first question they ask is, what about whales? Do whales have belly buttons? I guess they're just really proud they know that whales are mammals, but it's always the first question they ask me is if whales have belly buttons.
Best part of the chicken, the belly button.
Is it?
Because they're definitely not mammals.
You're right.
Yeah, I know.
You got me.
Yeah. Who's the teacher now? You still. Anyway, welcome to... Oh my god, I don't remember what episode this is. People, continue banter while I look up what episode this is. I think it's 29. Let me check.
So don't you love it when David is unprepared for the podcast?
David is still the most professional podcaster I know personally.
But he's also the only podcaster I know.
It is 29. That was a rookie mistake. Well, I was getting thrown off because I released the best of episode and I was debating, should I number that? Should I not number it? and then I finally did number it normal numbering. But I wanted to be like so confusing, so I numbered it episode 28, volume 1. So whenever we do a second best of, God willing, it'll be whatever episode number, volume 2, and then people will be so confused.
It should roll back to 28, volume 2. You should just...
It's just we're up to like 35, but the next one's just 28, volume 2.
I think our true fans will appreciate that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let's introduce who's here.
I'm Rachel.
I am Nick.
And your fearless host, David Lamison. It is pouring down rain at the moment like a mother. Any interesting rain stories from today, or nothing really?
From today, specifically?
Well,
because it just started raining.
Maybe your experiences with rain in general. Purple rain, anything.
No, not really.
If I had to run, which thank heavens I don't have to, I would choose to run in the rain.
Why would you do that?
Because it's naturally hydrating, slightly refreshing, and hopefully would never be too hot while raining.
Have you ever been a runner, Nick? Voluntary?
I enjoy running. I have ran in the rain. I've ridden my bike in the rain. I've played basketball in the rain. I've cried in the pouring rain.
They can't see your tears.
No, they can't.
I always thought it was unsafe to ride bike or run in the rain because it's easier to slip and like fall and your precious brain matter to ooze out of your skull. Is that true or no? You're giving me a face like I'm talking in a different language.
I'm so uncoordinated that I don't know how rain would enhance my chances of becoming injured.
It's very dangerous. That's why if you run in the rain, you should wear a helmet at all times. And an umbrella.
But you get double fit because of the rain. It makes your muscles stronger or some other BS. I don't know.
Yeah, half swimming, half running. It's 2/3 of a triathlon.
I imagine you like running and doing a swimming motion at the same time. And just going super fast.
You run, and then anytime you hit a puddle, you lay down and do the freestyle through it. And then you get out of the puddle and you run.
If you run or swim fast enough, you may be able to like catch air in the like droplets.
Just swim up to the cloud.
Oh, that's great. They got to add that to the Olympics. Rain running. Srumming or rimming?
Not rimming.
Not rimming. That's something totally different. Anyway, on that note, what's up, yo? The hot favorite segment of all DC-based improv group podcasts.
Fan favorite.
A fan favorite.
Audience adored.
Audience adored. A homeless man came up to me and asked me, when are we going to do another podcast so we can hear the next What's Up, Yo? So, Nick, what's up, yo?
I'm about to start teaching improv to children.
Yeah.
3rd graders through 5th graders, and that's going to be my summer teaching job. So I'm excited about it, but also a little bit terrified because they are 3rd through 5th graders.
And they're the worst.
Absolute worst. No. I've taught improv to 5th through 8th grade before, and that was challenging in its own way. But now it's like 2 ages younger, you know what I mean? And so it's kind of, every year you get younger with a child is equal to like 10 years adult life or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
The difference between 7 and 8 is like the difference between 30 and 65.
What? Yes, and what?
So it'll be fun. It's a big class, so we'll just have to like kind of split them into small groups to do little fun things, and then have short things where everybody's together so they don't lose their attention, and just have fun with it. It's only 4 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that. So it's not that much time.
What's your main takeaway for them, do you think? Or what's your plan?
Well,
the crap system?
Your objective.
Yes, I'm going to use
the
crap liberally. So
that thing has a lot of P's.
Go home and talk to their parents about it.
what'd you learn about today? You taught us a bunch of crap.
Exactly.
Perhaps we
wait.
should explain crap to those who don't know.
No.
All right.
No, we can't. we might have talked about this in another podcast, but it's been a while. Episode 29 now. Could have been within the first 5 episodes, so people that have listened to those are either dead or drunk or whatever, so they may not remember. What is the crap method?
So it's an acronym,
Yes.
and there's actually 2 C's in crap, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Conflict, characters. R is
Relationship.
A is action.
Action, yes.
P is
Place.
place. And it's just the 5 elements every improv scene needs.
Right. But I always say if your scene is funny, then that trumps any crap. But the crap helps. You can use the crap to cultivate and grow a very funny scene.
It almost fertilizes the improv, if you will.
Yeah, the improv is a seedling. We like to the Penthouse Basements. We love to spread our seedlings all over the DC metro area. Yes. Well, okay. So, what was your first introduction into teaching improv? Like, what were you like? I want to do this now. This is going to be my thing.
So 2 summers ago, I, as I mentioned, taught improv 5th through 8th grade, and that was at a point where I was trying to just get into teaching in general, and it was the beginning of the summer.
Did anybody present help you out with that?
No. The past version of somebody who happens to be here today helped me.
Oh.
You know, we're a different person every day when we wake up.
You're right.
It was a different version of you, David Lomison.
Every day is a winding road.
Yes. So, you know the story. You were there.
Yes.
We had to go. It was a similar situation. It was a summer academy for kids, and so on
Was
the
it
very
a prep
first
school?
No, it's a program. It's an academic program, but it's like not an actual school. But it's in a school.
Okay.
So yeah, you and I went there because I had to demonstrate for the kids this is what improv is, so they could choose which elective they wanted to do.
And they were like, "This is dumb. Where's Justin Bieber?"
Pretty much. And so yeah, then the kids who liked it signed up for my class, and they were stuck with me for the rest of the summer.
And all you haters out there that think those who can't teach, Nick is still awesome at improv, so suck it, bastards.
I've gotten progressively worse at improv since I started teaching. But to answer your question, Rachel, like there's a showcase at the end of the summer.
Yeah.
So I'll be trying to get them from the point of probably having never done improv or even necessarily know what it is to like being comfortable going on stage in front of their classmates and family members and like doing something.
But they've all played imagination. Well, maybe.
And I'll have to
I don't
kind
know
of
about
link it back
nowadays.
to like if you've ever pretended or used imagination, it's kind of the same.
If your parents ever took away your electronics,
Ew.
you had to.
Remember that one day
Yeah.
when you didn't have the internet? So yeah, it'll be fun and challenging.
Awesome.
Yeah, you've inspired me. I think I might want to teach something theatrical next summer because I'm rather bored this summer, and it's only 1 week into it.
There's a lot of like summer academies that do things with kids, and
I can't figure out what age group because I usually do high school math. So pretty much theater's already a twist. So I don't know if I want to change age
you have your
groups
teacher
too.
certificate, so you're in a good place.
And I have a degree in theater, so they can't really say no.
You do whatever you want,
basically. I know. Except get another job teaching math somewhere else, because as soon as they see my resume, they go, degree in theater, 12 years teaching math. She don't know nothing.
Right.
And they throw me out in the trash, so it's really hard for me to... Thank goodness I'm in a good location, because I can't get a job anywhere else.
You can't swing it at midget over your head without hitting a teaching job that's opened. Or is it the opposite? No, that's
swing a teacher over your head without hitting a midget job that's open?
Midget! We need a midget here!
Oh, it's another teacher.
Why are you swinging that dead teacher over your head? You can't work here. You're clearly a psycho. Anyway, good luck with that, Nick. I think that's awesome. You found your calling.
If we do a What's Up Yo next week, I'll be like, I got fired for teaching improv.
We clearly record these every 2 months. So hopefully you'll have been fired, rehired, fired, and then rehired by the next podcast.
By then the summer will be over, and I could say I got a job with 2 days left and I kept it.
Yeah! Yeah!
Success.
Okay. Awesome stuff, Nick. What's up, yo? For me, just finished watching the Netflix series Glow.
Oh yeah, you recommended. I haven't started.
Yes, it is. It is about the women's wrestling show from the 80s of the same name, Glow. Okay. A little confusing now that I think about it because the show about the show has the same name as the original show.
Oh.
So
it's not just a re-airing of the original show.
No, this is like behind the scenes how the show came to be. And there's some dramatic, what do you call it, when they change things for dramatic effect?
Dramatization.
Yes. Right. Because we also, one thing that I would recommend before you watch the show, there's also a documentary about the show on Netflix. I think it's just called Glow, the story of the gorgeous ladies of wrestling. It's something like that.
They should have just called it Glow, so that it's just further confusing for everybody.
Wait, are you talking about the original show, or the documentary, or the new show?
Yes.
Glow 2, The Revenge. But yeah, it's really good. Mark Maron is in it. He plays like a crusty, like drunk director. The part he was born to play, I think. Yeah, I highly recommend it. Don't want to give any spoilers because it sort of just came out. But first season is 10 episodes. I'd say to stick with it because maybe the first 3 episodes are a little slow because they only focus on like the main character. But then once like episode 4 starts, it starts to like open up and more characters come and it gets a lot better. So,
how many episodes?
10. First season, 10 episodes. Yeah, not too bad. And they're like varying lengths of time, but I would say like on average each episode's like 45 minutes.
Has it over? Like is the first season already over?
Yeah, Netflix did the thing. It's a Netflix original, so they did the thing where they just released all of the episodes of the season.
So you haven't binge watched it?
We did binge watch it.
How long did the binge take you?
The binge took... Well, we did it. We'd watch like 3 or 4 episodes a day over the extended 4th of July break. So...
Yeah, because you were just starting it last week. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. I recommend it. Even if you're not like a wrestling fan. Like, and I was when I was little. I remember watching Glow when I was a kid. And it's funny, like, when we watched the documentary, I was going into it and I was expecting them to be like, this was the worst show ever. Like, conditions were horrible. Like, I hated it. And it's like the opposite. Like every woman was like, it was the greatest experience. Like it was awesome. I miss these women. Like blah, blah, blah. And it was like, oh, wow, that's really cool.
I have a question for the both of you. What is the longest session of binge watching you've ever accomplished? And what was the show?
Oh, gosh. I mean, I watched 3 hours of the Great British Baking thing today.
That's been your recent obsession.
Yeah. Well, thanks to Dave, another member of this group, who told me they were on Netflix. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was watching them PBS once a week, you know? But then he told me there were older episodes on Netflix. So in 3 days, I watched the 10 episodes. But that's only because I'm trying to pace my Orange is the New Black.
Okay.
So I watched like 3 or 6 episodes of that, and I took a little baking break, and then
wake and bake.
Wake and bake.
As a add-on, I don't know if it helps or not because Orange is the New Black is like hit or miss. The people that made Glow are the same people that are doing Orange is the New Black.
Okay.
So
it's kind of a lot of like women-themed programming.
There's women all over the place. You can't swing a dead midget swinging a dead teacher over your head without hitting a woman on this show.
On Netflix, period.
Right.
I think House of Cards is the only one that's not all women.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I have no idea.
Okay.
I would say longest binge watch for me going to Turkey on an 11-hour flight. I watched the whole Star Wars trilogy in Japanese.
What?
Because I'd seen it so many times. I wanted like a new wrinkle. So I was like, I want to watch the Japanese track. And I did.
Okay.
And they still made C-3PO sound gay.
Well, I think that George Lucas hand casts.
He actually,
You wouldn't be surprised if he
did.
does.
Oh yeah, because before the Mouse bought it, he was like such a micromanager. Like that doesn't surprise me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty, yes, Glow. Watch it. It's fantastic. There's even some breasts in it if you're into that sort of thing. I was so surprised.
You were surprised?
Yeah, because I mean, like it's not like a prison setting.
I mean, I'm watching Orange is the New Black. They're literally in the dining room, and two people are talking, and the girl in the background is just topless. And I was like,
At the prison?
Like, why is she topless?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so... Well, because this season, the prisoner... Because in all prison shows, because Oz this happened, and Orange, the prisoners are...
Not Oz. The feel-good show of the decade.
I did. Last summer, I started watching Oz. I think I made it 3 seasons? It's good. I mean, the first episode, like... Spoiler alert on the first episode of Oz that aired 25 years ago. I think like 3 people died in the first episode. Mm-hmm. So, just don't get attached in a prison show.
Yeah.
They'll
Alison
either die or
Brie.
get released. Yes.
Alison
is in
Brie.
Glow.
She is the star of Glow. She's from Community.
She's tiny.
She is. Out of nowhere, Alison Brie full nude sex scene. I was like, what the hell is going on here? But it happened. Watch Glow.
So it's about women, but it sounds like it's kind of geared toward men.
You know what? As a woman, I
Go
do spend
on.
a lot of time naked. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's not so unrealistic.
I was just not expecting it. Like, because I was expecting, like, maybe in the locker room people will be walking around, you know, it happens. But it sets up the character. I don't want to do any spoilers or anything, but, like, it makes sense for the story. Like, it wasn't just like, we need some TNA, damn it. Take off your clothes.
I was going to ask, I mean, like, there's nudity and then there's nudity. It's about how it's presented, you know what I mean? Like, if it's meant to kind of be sexy and tantalizing, then it's kind of like, for me, it's probably geared toward men in that way. But if it's more geared toward women, there might be nudity, but it's not like sexualized as much. It's just kind of like
Plot-driven
like
nudity.
It's like like plot-driven or just kind of part of the scene.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't gratuitous. Like, they didn't shove the camera up her asshole or anything. But
Anything short of that, it's not really sexual.
yeah, check out Glow. Okay, Rachel, what's up, yo?
So, I like to do nonfiction audiobooks. And so I just finished, the book was called Gun Guys. And I have to admit that recently I have been just all about taking everyone's guns. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of it always being in the news. Like, I'm tired of doing lockdown drills at school.
How many guns have you found at school?
Daily, I found more porn than guns, I have to say, in the high school.
Now, is it like sexy porn, or is this like part of the plot?
It was, I handed out algebra books, somebody opened it up and said, hey, what's this DVD doing here?
Oh, no.
And I had to be like,
Butt Sluts 25.
I don't know, but I'm gonna pretend like we find porn every day and just put it here and then
the porn box.
destroy it later. Like, I don't. Oh my god, because you make a big deal out of it, you know, so you have to just pretend like it was just an everyday find and then be like,
What
I
age
could
are your
totally get
students again?
high school.
Okay.
I'm like, I could totally get fired if
That's
this is in my
just
drawer.
the age. That's, you know.
Yeah. But no, I mean, somebody had clearly left it in there last year, like when they turned in their book, and shame on the teacher for not checking for
I
porn.
personally
before
use porn as a
putting it away.
bookmark myself.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't need to watch this anymore. I have the internet. I'll just use it as a bookmark now.
Yeah. But
Come over.
What's all this porn doing here? Now, this is my reading area.
oh,
These are
boy.
coasters, actually.
They would make good coasters nowadays. Those
Yeah.
DVDs. You don't need them for anything.
Naughty
else.
Nurses 117. Sure, I'll put my Fanta on it.
Oh, it's ironic porn.
Remember they used to like mail you all those CD-ROMs for like everything, and then people
Yeah.
would hang them in their garden to get rid of the pests because it would distract birds from landing.
One
Oh.
cool thing that
Yeah.
my friend did with a bunch of old AOL CDs.
Oh, yeah, they'd mail
she
those
made a
like
disco
crazy.
ball. So she took a basketball and broke up a bunch of those CDs and hot glued them to the basketball.
Oh. Smart.
Yeah,
Crafty.
definitely.
Yeah. So this Gun Guys book was written by a Jew from New York who's very liberal. So like not your classic gun guy, and he went on what he called a gun walkabout. It's the Australian term, which is funny because they have no guns in Australia anymore. So he went all around the nation. I think he started in the Southwest, and then he all over the U.S. talking to different types of gun guys.
Okay.
And it was really cool. And then the best part for me was that it was read by Richard Kind from
Oh,
from
God.
Mad About You. He has a very distinctive voice.
He kind of sounds like this.
Yeah. So it was comforting to listen to it from a familiar voice, I still don't know that I want to own a gun, although there were moments where I did feel like going and shooting them. It reminded me of my parents' 40th wedding anniversary. My
Go
mother
on.
my mother was so my mother's
I
of
feel like
that
I'm there.
my mother's of that like hippie generation, very anti-gun, put a flower in the gun. Like I wasn't allowed to make the shooty thing with my fingers as a child. I wasn't allowed to have water guns. My brother got a super soaker. I mean, after the big boy bed, then the super soaker. It's no wonder he outgrew me. So the boy had a much better childhood. So we weren't allowed to have any of this. So the 40th anniversary, we gathered some of their friends and went to the Poconos. And it was just a weird time in the Poconos because it was April. So you don't know if there's still going to be snow because it was a very snowy winter. So there actually was a little snow, but not enough for dog sledding, which I was looking forward to.
Oh.
But then, it was too muddy and snowy for golf. So there was nothing quite you could do.
Nice.
Tough Mudder golf.
Yeah. But they had shooting. So I was like, well, let's do this. And of course, my mother is not going to be into it. But she was shocked that her college roommate's husband was we were all very shocked because he's very pacifist and he loved it. So I definitely want to recommend this book to him because we did the shotguns, which is when I found out that I should be shooting left-handed because I closed my eyes wrong. Yeah, actually, we learned the difference between skeet and trap. It was actually trap shooting. My dad wrote a whole essay. He's very into it.
What about the difference between Skeet Ulrich and Trap?
I don't know that one.
Okay.
I do know the difference between skeet and trap.
Go on.
But the next day they were having handgun shooting there, and my mom's college roommate's husband was like, "Let's come back for it!" And he was so excited, and we didn't actually because the rest of us had our fill of shooting. But it was a very good book. It was very evenly cited. You got to see everyone's opinions and stuff.
Did they interview NRA people?
Yeah, that towards the end he interviewed an NRA person. He actually found this Jewish organization that is actually more feisty, for lack of a better word, than the NRA. Because they attribute the Holocaust to the fact that the Germans took away the Jews' guns. And if the Jews had guns, they would have defended themselves. And because actually before the Holocaust started, one of the first ordinances, put a star in your window, give us your guns. It was that kind of stuff. It was
I'm just picturing.
pretty sure that was exactly how it happened.
I'm just picturing the Diary of Anne Frank starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's in a dress with a bob wig on, and he's just blasting Germans with a giant machine gun.
It would have ended differently, right?
That would have been awesome. We got to fit Channing Tatum into that somehow, but he'll play the SS officer or something.
The topless SS officer. Yeah.
That sounds like if Arnold killed you with a
Yeah.
skit waiting to happen.
Yeah.
If Arnold killed you with an Anne Frank.
If If Arnold took away your guns.
You're not a buyer, you're a seller.
They were in the attic, but yeah.
Damn it.
But it was a good book. It was really interesting.
Funny you brought up Richard Kind.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy in Glow that looks just like a young Richard Kind, and he's like a huge douchebag. And when I brought him up, Amy was like, "Who's that?" And I said, "He's this annoying guy from Mad About You."
Mm-hmm.
So.
My dad always thinks he always gets Richard Kind and Rob Reiner mixed up.
Mm-hmm.
So every time I'd be watching Mad About You, he'd come in and be like, "Oh, meatloaf, meathead." I think he was called Meathead.
Yeah. Oh, I don't remember, but I know who you're talking about. That's what Archie Bunker called it. He called it. But it was Rob Reiner, and I mean they look a little bit alike, but they're very different.
Are we talking about Helen Hunt?
Yes.
Okay, good. I know who that is.
Yeah. Paul Reiser. I've never been a fan.
Really?
Well, his best role is Aliens. He played the greasy corporate guy that went to the planet and was going to smuggle aliens back inside of Ripley and Newt. That's his best role. Like, fuck you, Mad About You fans. His best thing he's ever done is Aliens.
You don't want to mess with the Mad About You fans. They're a feisty bunch.
Are you? You seem to be. You're making faces.
I do.
You seem to be a big Mad About You fan.
I like Mad About You. I actually just rewatched all of the seasons. I think like last year. Mm-hmm. So occasionally I'll discuss. The 7 a.m. TV hour is delightful, and occasionally I'll just so like Mad About You was airing on like FXX or something at like 7 to 8. There'd be like 2 episodes, and so I would DVR them, and then on the weekend or on a fun Friday night, do a jigsaw puzzle and watch a handful of Mad About You episodes, and then recently I just relived Growing Pains. I just did that was from the 7 to 8 o'clock hour as well. That 7 a.m. hour, you got to keep an eye on it. See, I don't bother like thinking, oh, that would be fun, and then go to Netflix and rewatch them. I fill my DVR with episode after episode of shows that have run their course.
Before you moved on to Growing Pains, I was going to ask you, can we get a quick Mad About You review, like as a whole? Like, would you say you watched the whole thing?
I did. I watched from the beginning to the end. What
would you say? First question, does it hold up? Because I know a lot of those, like you go back and watch, if you watch a lot of Seinfeld, I would, like, it's a great show to be sure. I would say that some of it doesn't hold up.
Well, cell phones and political correctness have changed a lot of what happened in the 90s.
Yes.
I mean, my favorite thing to watch is when they pick up a phone and don't know who's on the other end. Do you know what I mean? Like, because that hasn't been reality in 20 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Now if I don't recognize the number, I just don't pick up. There's no, but I still, even if it's my parents and I know who's on the other end, I still pick up and go, hello?
Right.
Like, it's like you don't want to rob them the experience with being like, it's your mom. Although my parents do swap cell phones a lot, so I don't always know who's on the other end.
Hello, parent.
Yeah. I do call them that, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, my brother and I call them the folks. And then, we'll call them parent when we just can't decide.
I thought you were just, like, giving them a whiff of nostalgia by, like, saying hello, like you don't know who it is, and then they're like, oh, this is just like 20 years ago.
Is that not polite? Because I feel like we all do that. We all answer the phone as if we don't know, but we really do.
Do you ever pick up your cell phone and go, operator, connect me to mom?
I'm already here, honey.
No, but Siri will do that for you.
Usually whenever I answer the phone, I go, what's that?
Yes, from 20
it's
years
the
ago.
Budweiser commercial. Yeah.
Okay, for our younger viewers.
That came up in a conversation today, and I looked it up on YouTube. Those commercials are from 1999.
Oh, I wish you'd let us guess. I was going to say 95.
I would have said at least the 2000s.
I thought it was like 10 years ago, but no, it was.
Those are my pre-beer days. I don't have any present beer days, but
before you came alive like a phoenix.
Yes.
So, does Mad About You hold up? Everybody's dying to know.
Well, in the crap scenario, it has full crap, and it's highly the R is really what holds up about it. The relationships, they have the relationships, they have the friendships, and No, it definitely holds up. They have the love, and that's really all you need.
Netflix's stock just skyrocketed after that comment.
I will say that they had sex in the kitchen a lot more than I remembered.
Really?
After watching as a child to watching as an adult. I mean, they don't, it's 90s television. It's not like they showed it, but...
Not like Netflix today, where
right.
It's like Allison Brie's nipples in your eyes or anything like that. Something else I was going to say about you. How long was it on? Do you have any idea?
Golly. Somewhere between 7 and 9 years.
Sounds about right.
Yeah,
I want to say about 7.
That seems to be the
I mean, it jumped the
spot
shark
for
when
it.
they had a baby, as all shows do.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a shame. But.
Did the baby go from being an infant to being like 5 years old?
No, the show
over
ended
one
when it was
off-season?
an infant.
Huh?
The show ended. Growing Pains that did, but
Because
no.
I feel like that happens a lot on sitcoms. The
does.
baby is born, and then the next season it's like...
Do you know why that happened in Modern Family? Because in Modern Family that happened. They had the one baby, and then now they have the girl who does it currently. Apparently the first baby just didn't like them. she was just like, I mean, I think she was twins, so there were 2 of them, and both babies just didn't care for the 2 guys.
Really?
Yeah, there was just something about them, and yeah, because they've talked about that in interviews, like why, they were like, we really enjoyed, but then this baby just didn't like us.
That's
so we
not
got
the
a new
same
baby.
girl that was the baby?
No, for like the first year or 2, it was a different baby.
Oh.
Yeah.
She's a dead ringer. Maybe not, I don't know.
Yeah, because she's Asian, just like the first one.
Oh, that's the similarity.
Asian and female, done.
Oh, gotcha.
So the babies all look alike. They all look alike.
Pretty much.
They do.
Yeah. All right, great stuff. Check out, what was it called?
Gun Guys.
Gun Guys.
There were girls too, don't worry. Like, he talked to girls too, but
Gun
it was
people.
called... Because there are people who, like, instead of golfing, go out and, like, shoot guns, and there are these courses, like golf courses, but
Right.
they're different shooting things. They actually
Right.
have converted some old golf courses into these shooting things as well. So those were the upper crust gun people. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I have quite a few relatives who are sort of in that community of gun love and activities.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I can agree with that.
I do not. I did watch Jordan Klepper Solves Guns, and this book was 900 times better.
I don't mean I agree with
I know.
guns per se. I
You
agree
love
with
guns.
Your description of all these people that are out
Yeah,
there.
there's a whole different variety of people who are into them, and
Yeah.
and people who use them for all different. There are the people who are like, they're going to take our guns, so for every 2 guns you buy, bury one in the backyard, so that when they take your first one, you still have the second one.
Right.
And then there are people who, they're just collector's items for display and occasional use, and
Some people just like to shoot.
some people, shooting is fun. I mean, I will say I've done it a number of times, and I suck at it because I have no depth perception.
Oh.
And apparently I need to shoot left-handed, and I was shooting right-handed. But
Well, those people aren't
Yeah.
the problem, because you know that they're responsible gun owners. Like, they're going to take care of their gun.
Mm-hmm.
It's the people that we don't want to have the guns are getting the guns and killing people.
yeah, and they talk extensively about that in the book, about, the loophole, the gun show loophole, and how that wouldn't really help anything, and, just all the different, all the things that are common buzzwords in today's gun discussion. He talks extensively about, and just,
Interesting.
yeah, it was really interesting. I really enjoyed it.
For the next podcast, let's just play that audio book and let people listen to
Can
it.
we just invite Richard Kind?
No, I don't want him in this home.
Not in my house!
Yeah. All right.
He's a very tall guy.
What's up, yo, in the books? Thank you very much for that, Rachel.
Boom.
Next up, we'll do a quick Penthouse Basements update. Just had a show.
Just had 3 shows.
Yes,
June
it's
was
been a
very
while.
busy.
Yeah. That's why we haven't done podcasts.
Too busy entertaining the masses.
Yeah. So,
I mean, 3 sold out shows.
was the Highwood sold out? I
Yeah.
guess it was.
It was,
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't get in. I had to sit on your lap.
It's true. She broke my hip. It has more to do with my brittle bones than anything.
I'm like, I just lost 43 pounds.
No, it's not you. It's not you. It's me. Anyway, yeah, so Highwood Theater, we performed.
That was last week.
Thumbs
yeah.
up, thumbs down.
I say thumbs
That
up.
was amazing. I invited a number of people, and they all said we were the best of the night.
Would you agree?
I didn't see the other
I didn't see the other acts either. You saw the last act, David.
I did. They were fine.
We were better.
We were better. We were better than them. I mean, it seems like every time we do a Penthouse Basements update, all we do is suck each other's popsicles. But I'm telling you right now, we were the best of the night. Those guys were good, but we were also good.
Okay.
But we were better. Mm-hmm. They were good, but we were better. And we also were continuously doing the pinch.
Yeah, we did the pinch at the start of the month.
Yes, first Tuesday of every month.
Mm-hmm.
Have you?
We had a big crowd that night.
I have not done pinch.
You got to do that, man.
I plan on it.
You
When's
will
the
in
next
August, August 1st.
I should be available for that.
Yeah, okay. Nick is coming back in the habit. Yeah, we do like an improv cavalcade. Listeners, please come out and come to the pinch in the basement of a dive bar. You come downstairs, see some free improv. Don't need to buy a ticket. We just ask you to buy booze and
For us.
Yeah.
And yourself too.
Yep.
We perform, like we'll do a couple games, then another group will do like a 20-25 minute set, then we'll do a couple more games. Okay. Another group does like a 25-minute set, and then we end the night with like a couple more games. And then we do every improv group line game run. So I love doing that. I think that's since we started doing that, I think that's like the best
event.
The best event that we've ever done. Like that format is good. Like I would love to do something like that for like double the length, maybe.
Like a 3-hour show?
Yeah, something like that. We'll do it for charity.
We'll do 3 hours of line games.
Yeah.
So it's the first Tuesday of every month.
Yes.
And it's at 7 o'clock at the Pinch in D.C. It's
yes.
7 to 8:30, so, those of you who have to get up early in the morning have no excuses because it's still an early night.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
those of you who don't have to get up early in the morning, there's stand-up right afterwards, which is also good.
You have
stayed
performed.
for that. I
You've
have.
performed. Tell us your experience performing the stand-up, the open mic.
Stand-up makes me super nervous.
Mm-hmm.
But that was one of my better sets. It was a good set.
You did very well.
Yeah.
Got a little political at the end there.
I did. I got serious at the end.
Yeah.
Because asked a serious question, I'll answer seriously.
Yes.
So, yeah. But no, that was a good set. I don't know what my drive to do stand-up is in reality. But
I've always thought about doing stand-up, but like I have such a horrible memory. Like I would love to write for a stand-up.
That's what I want to do. In fact, like I mentioned to my brother maybe a year ago that I was thinking of doing stand-up, and he literally looked at me and he was like, I don't see it. I see you maybe writing for other people, but I don't really see you doing it.
You're just not funny.
No, he goes, you're funny. Like you could write for other people, but I don't think you should do it.
You don't have a face for stand-up. You need to sit down, not stand up.
Yes.
Have you ever done stand-up, Nick? I feel like you have.
No.
What is it you do, like spoken word?
I do poetry.
Plug your Busboys and Poets.
Oh, yeah, I want to come to that.
Come. It's tomorrow night.
Can't come.
I have rehearsal
No,
tomorrow
it's
night.
See? But that's fine. So I host the Busboys and Poets in Hyattsville every first Thursday, and it's a lot of poetry, but it's open mic, so it's anything. It's whoever shows up. So some musical acts show up, some comedians, singers, rappers, you name it. And it's a lot of fun. It's a 2-hour event from 9 to 11. I also host an open mic in Silver Spring, Maryland. It's at Expectation Restaurant. The event is Express Yourself, and it's also kind of a similar format, 8:30 to 10, every third Tuesday of the month.
So it doesn't conflict with the Pinch.
No.
Right, yeah.
No.
It always has to be complicated. So it's the third Thursday of every month.
The first Thursday.
There is a full moon.
Yes.
Right.
And you have to be a werewolf. So, third Tuesdays, Express Yourself. First Thursdays.
That was in Silver Spring.
Yeah, and first
the
Thursday.
Seattle of the East Coast.
Kinda, yeah. Tacoma Park, but
Pete told me that.
Yeah, more Tacoma Park, but
Okay.
yeah, same difference. Tacoma Park is the Portland of the East Coast.
They're always putting birds on things there.
I'll be there tomorrow night. Tacoma Park.
For what purpose?
Okay.
That's the end of that story.
Okay.
I'm just going to be there wandering around.
It's summer. I just pick a different location every day to get out of my apartment.
Okay.
Cool. There's a CVS there.
What? There's a soup place that looked interesting. I might go and get soup.
Is it the organic soup place? Because I've been there.
Called like Supergirl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Looks interesting.
It's good soup?
It's good if you like soup.
I figure in July, what's better than soup?
Right. Especially hot soup.
Yeah.
Gazpacho. What's your opinion? Yay, nay?
Gazpacho, cold soup, no.
Yeah.
I said
Purple?
gazpacho, no.
You gazpacho.
What's the difference between gazpacho and borscht?
That's a good
David?
well, funny you should ask. I have no idea.
All right. Listeners, please call in. The number is...
Call in. The number is 1-800-696-6969.
What does that spell?
And our other show, to complete the trifecta, we did...
Litfest.
Litfest, yes.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't,
At Flashpoint.
I didn't get a chance to talk about that show because...
I haven't heard about it.
It was a good show. It was good. You didn't like
Was it?
I liked it.
Here's the thing.
But I was drunk on power.
Whenever there's a group that does better than us...
Oh, there was a very good group.
They were called Double Stuff.
Yeah, they were very good.
We want to get them for the pinch. They were the best group of the night.
Okay.
I always take umbrage when, like, we can do better. I think that the quick turnover between the pinch show and that one hurt us.
Was it
a
the
week.
next day?
No, it was a week. But we didn't have any
We didn't
rehearsal.
have a practice in between.
Yeah. Actually, I think you guys did practice that Wednesday, maybe. I couldn't because I had rehearsal for my other show.
Nobody could come. There wasn't enough people.
Yeah.
Well,
I had people go to that one. You know, my brother went to all 3 shows. As much as he doesn't think I'm funny, he went to all 3 of our improv shows in June, and he liked all of them.
maybe he has a crush on one of us.
Does he think you're funny enough for improv, or should you be a writer for improv as well?
I don't know. But no, it's been good to have support out there for the shows. Now, I thought it was a good show. I thought we did funny stuff. Double Stuff was very good.
Yeah.
They were very, very good. But I don't think they took away from
short
us.
form?
Two guys. They were long form.
Oh.
They were very good.
Yes.
We're gonna get those guys for the pinch. We gotta get them guys.
They were 2 Jewish gun-toting guys. I'm just
Really?
kidding.
Literally,
Oh,
they had
okay.
AKs on stage.
Yeah.
Why not?
But yeah, not our best. We were still okay, but they were better.
Okay.
And I always take umbrage with that because we should be the best group whenever we perform. And there were reasons why we weren't the best. That could be pinpointed. Like hell, I was tired. Like I was tired that week, so I wasn't my best. I blame myself. I could have been better.
That was my second show of the week.
Mm-hmm.
I was creative outletted out.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I mean, it was my second show of the week, but I thought it was fantastic. I mean, I still thought just because somebody else is better doesn't mean we weren't as good as we always are.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just too. I'm not sucking anybody's popsicle now. I'm just so mad. I can't even talk. Just so mad about not being good in that show.
Well, I wasn't there, so I could have been a lot better.
Yeah,
personally.
you could have been.
There should be a video of that one, though, online on the Lit, that's Laugh Index Theater's website.
Mm-hmm.
They videoed all of the shows, so you can compare us to Double Stuff in real time. You can go and watch the videos of it.
And you can also check out the videos from the other 2 shows, The Pinch from the beginning of June and the Highwood show. Pete put those up on our YouTube page. Just go to YouTube and search for the Penthouse Basements, and you'll be able to find where those videos are.
I would like to make one comment about the Highwood show after having reviewed the tape.
Go on.
Something that I didn't realize happened at the time of the show. I realized it upon reviewing the tape.
My ass was out.
No, that's always out. There was a point where in the first game that I was in, the dating game, I was playing the court stenographer with no
that
fingers.
was fantastic, yes.
And as part of it, I pretended to, like, since I didn't have fingers, I was kind of like pounding at the stenographer keys with fists, and then I pretended to use my feet, and at one point I pretended to slam my head against the stenographer thing. And when
Biggest
I
laugh
did
of the
that,
night.
I whipped my head forward, and my hair just kind of stood straight up. It was part Gumby, part Vanilla Ice in 1991.
That's a good description.
And it kind of just stuck that way for the rest of the skit. And I realized it was completely distracting for anybody watching.
No, that was definitely one of the best laughs of the night.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were laughing more at me than with me at that moment. But it's worth watching if you want to see something funny.
It's very good. Yeah, it was a fine show. It was a fine show. I hold us to a higher standard. I think we're always so good at the pinch. I think we rarely have a bad show.
David is like the Joe Jackson of the group.
We did. I think that
What'd you say?
Yeah. Go get a Switch.
either April or May at the pinch was not great. There were like 4 people in the audience.
Yeah.
And our energy was low, and it was.
It's easier to
That was
feed
not a
off
good the pinch.
full. Like, we should tell people every month that it's our last show, so that everyone
You know what I realized about what you just said? I think it must have been April, because April 1st we did Howard Community College. And I remember everybody saying that, and then like less than a week later we did the
That's
pinch.
what it was, yes,
and
it was terrible.
Sucked because we were all just exhausted from, we were all improv'd out from Howard Community College. So I think we need to
because
kind
we
of...
had done like a 3-hour seminar, and then we had...
it was a lot.
Then it was a long show. It was a wonderful show, though.
So I think we should keep that in mind for the future, that try not to like book ourselves back to back too much.
Yeah.
Unless we could practice. I think if we can practice...
But when you're in demand, you're in demand. And we are in demand.
I mean,
if you'd like to book us, what was that number again?
1-696-6969. We'll do improv. We'll test to make sure if there's any asbestos in your theater, anything you want, CO2 levels. You want to lock us in a theater so we can perform, and if we make it out alive, it's safe, we'll do it.
You know what I find weird is like that pinch show where we had a very small audience. It wasn't that great of a show, but in our weekly practices we have no audiences, and we always put on fantastic shows. They're always fantastic, and it doesn't matter to us that there's no audience. Wonderful stuff comes out of those every week, and it can't just be audience dependent.
Dave's dogs, Abby and Jack, are our only audience.
Yes.
And Jack repeatedly humps my leg, so I think I do a pretty good job.
Oh yeah. He doesn't like it when you transition from audience to player. He finds that very upsetting.
Yeah.
So he will hump you to try to get you back to audience or back to...
Well, we used to film practices, and Nick knows the time-honored tradition of whenever we didn't film, that's when it would be like our funniest stuff. Right. Then we'd start filming, and it would be like hot dog shit.
Right. Wah, wah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I have this sound effect maker. I forgot we're gonna add a new dimension to the Penthouse Basements Podcast. This was how I think that last show at the Highwood Theater went.
You really just classed up the joint.
David didn't actually pick up anything. He's just making those noises with his mouth.
No, everybody loves me. Listen.
Just started raining harder.
No, you're right. I'm sorry. I won't do it anymore. That's it. No more sound effects.
When I showed up today, David was practicing that routine.
Nothing improvised about that. No. And we're back! Okay. Next, it's time for... That was the Penthouse Basements update. Next, it's time for the feature segment, because we've been going about an hour. We're going to do another Choose Your Own Adventure book. It's been a while. Can't remember the last time we've done one.
Oh, boy.
There was one in the best of episode.
Yes, that's right. That was all the way back in episode 3. That was the first time we've done one. But we're going to do another. This was one of our first feature segments. I'm going to read through a Choose Your Own Adventure book, and the lovely guests here, Rachel and Nick, are going to make the choices, and we're going to try to get a good ending and not die horribly. Which is actually often the case in these children's books, Choose Your Own Adventures.
Die horribly?
Many of the endings are like horrible deaths.
No, they gotta get you to stop reading somehow.
So, the title of this book is Secret of the Ninja.
Okay.
And on the cover, there's a menacing samurai fighting fighting three ninjas. No affiliation to the Three Ninjas movie franchise, I think. Let's see. Okay. I will start. Beware and warning. This book is different from other books. You and you alone are in charge of what happens in this story. There are dangers, choices, adventures, and consequences. You must use all of your wits and much of your exceptional intelligence. The wrong decision could end in disaster, even death. And they're not even talking about the book.
Do you have a sound effect for that?
Let me see.
This is a shotgun-toting samurai.
Where was I? Oh, but don't despair. At any time, you can go back and make another choice, alter the path of your story, and change its results. Good luck.
We'll need it.
You will need it. Okay, here we go. You ready for this, Rachel?
Ready.
Is this your first Choose Your Own Adventure book?
I mean, not in life, with you. I used to read them. And I did Neil Patrick Harris's autobiography, Choose Your Own Adventure.
Oh, that's right. How was that?
Good. I did read it cover to cover because I'm a rebel.
Did it make sense?
Well, I mean, it's different plot lines. Some of them are fake and some of them are real. And it was interesting, very interesting.
You mean you read it, like, straight through, chronologically, page by page, or you, like, read each adventure?
No, I read it straight through like you're not supposed to do.
You're a robot.
Neil Patrick Harris, Doogie, if you're listening, Rachel did your biography wrong.
I did.
I think that's illegal. Go ahead.
I did get a wicked paper cut.
You deserve that paper cut.
You did. I bet he put that in there on purpose.
Yeah.
He's like, make the paper extra sharp for people that read it
If you turn too many pages in a row, you get a paper cut automatically.
They should make these Choose Your Own Adventure books more realistic. Like, if something bad happens to you, you should really just get an electric shock in real life from the book. Or something, you know what I mean? Like, you should be actually injured somehow.
I don't think we want to teach children to be fearful of making choices.
I think we should.
This is the first book I've ever had to hit a switch to start reading.
Like, kids would just walk out into the middle of the street with no forethought of what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, This is part of them realizing we have mortality, there are consequences, you know.
I agree.
You know, let's make it just a more effective teaching tool.
Gotta grow up sometime.
And add electricity.
Yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick teaches third grade.
It's a book/taser.
No, that improv choice was wrong. Slap him.
All right. Thunder crashes and lightning splits the sky above you with such force it seems the sky will shatter. You run for cover. Rain pours down in sheets, pounding you like a fist because you didn't listen to Nick. The storm seems to want to destroy everything beneath it. Once inside the sliding doors of the dojo, you stand with your friend, Nada. Both of you soaked to the skin and watch the storm vent its rage. Another tremendous clap of thunder shakes the building to its foundation.
Where's the sound effect? Oh, okay.
Seriously?
I could just... I mean, it's not raining buckets anymore, but I should have prepared this. I didn't realize that there was a thunderstorm.
I believe you said it was raining like a mother.
It was
Which
raining
confused
like a mother.
me. My mother didn't rain.
A really bad mother, like Joan Crawford or something. And there's a picture. Here's a picture of the rain.
Oh, and there's lightning.
Yeah.
Lightning and rain. Very fine picture.
Electricity.
Yeah.
Come on.
They could just put it right here. On
Touch the lightning. Ow!
I know the art in these Choose Your Own Adventure books is hit or miss, but this is, well, you'd say that's a fine photo.
I have no
picture.
I have no
problem with it. No.
Lovely. Very hilly. Hills
okay.
and valleys.
Turn to page 2. No choice there.
All right.
You have to. Nada casts a sidelong glance at you as if to say, see what I mean? The two of you sit cross-legged on the floor, unable to take your eyes from the tempest outside. Third one this week, not a murder.
Murdered?
She's just dying to get in from the rain. And this is the dry season. I just needed that. Sorry. No more sound effects. The thunder and lightning finally give way to a steady downpour. Nada stands up and says, "Let's get you some dry clothes." You follow her to a back room where she hands you a towel and a kimono.
Oh, just like entering your house.
Except no kimono. It was just like a garbage bag with holes in it. Yeah. As you dry off and change, you retrace in your mind the history of your friendship with Nada. You studied karate in California before spending a summer in Japan. There you met Nada and found you shared many ideas about martial arts. She introduced you to a new discipline called Aikido. A year ago, you moved to the city of Kyoto to pursue Aikido more intensively. You and Nada became best friends. You were sad when Nada returned 3 months ago to her family's dojo in Nara, but you have kept in close touch. Now, as you tie your kimono and prepare to join Nada for tea, you wonder why she called you so urgently to Nara this morning. Turn to page 7.
If you don't care, turn to page 24.
If this backstory's boring, turn to page 20. Another picture of you. They're assuming that you have a dorky haircut and are a boy.
It's a bowl cut. It's not dorky. It's kind of cool.
Literally similar to the bowl that the microphone is in right now. It's versatile. It can be used to cut hair and to do podcasts. But it's you and Nada bowing, facing each other. As it actually looks like you're about to have like a battle to the death, but
It kind of does.
yeah. Okay, turn to page 7. No choices yet in this thrilling choose your
I mean, what if I
book.
didn't want dry clothes, really?
I know. If you would like to be nude, turn to page 20. Strange things have been happening here, Nada says, pouring hot water over the crushed leaves in the teacups. The storms are just one sign that something is wrong. There have been others. With a reed whisk, she stirs the leaves into a green froth in each cup. Then gives you one. You hold it in both hands, letting the warmth seep in.
This is very erotic, I might add.
And every time you go through this, you have to read these 3 pages. So.
Right.
It's like, I'm getting aroused by this tea. But even without the signs, she says, I can sense a presence here that is new, yet at the same time ancient.
Your boner.
You savor the bitter taste of the tea and look across the low table at Nada. Maybe you should start from the beginning. Nada shifts her weight on the reed mat.
If you want to skip the beginning, go to page 45.
If you want to just get to the ninjas, turn to page 10. Yes, maybe you should start from the beginning. No, please! Nada shifts her weight on the reed mat. About a month ago, I started noticing things disappearing and reappearing in odd places. Then there were weird noises, shrieks, laughter. Now this week, the thunder. By themselves, these do not prove anything. It is Saki. S-A-K-K-I. Any idea of the pronunciation?
It's not Saki, because
It is
that's...
not Saki. Sakai?
And they're
Sakai.
way too young for sake.
Yeah.
Well, how old are they? We don't know.
Based on the picture, they
yeah.
looked about 12. Based on the erection, 12 sounds about right.
Did they have any porn hidden in weird places?
Because then they're at least 15.
Right, yeah. Sorry about all the porn in that kimono I lent you. Sakai? I think that's what... I think the double consonant.
Absolutely.
A kind of sixth sense I learned in my training many years ago. I can feel the presence of harmful intentions. Did anything else happen around the time these signs happened? Any new arrivals or changes in the dojo? Turn to page 5. Still no choice.
Oh my god.
Why? Why did we go page 1, page 2, page 7, page 5?
I don't know.
Who writes these?
They're setting the pace for the page turning you're going to do.
If we don't get a choice soon, we're going to storm the ChooseCo offices, the home office, and we're going to...
Choose to set that thing
What's
on
the
fire.
copyright on that book?
Let's
It's in the front.
see. It's in the front.
No, you got to turn the page.
Oh, yes.
Go to page -1 and find the copyright.
If you would like to find the copyright, bend over and look in the mirror. That's where the copyright is.
You'll know it because it's in a little circle with a C.
Copyright. 1987.
Yes!
But this is the revised edition with new artwork from 2005.
No wonder the artwork's so good.
Yeah.
Sorry, listeners.
These are more advanced pens than what they had in 1987.
They just had crayons back then.
Yeah.
Now it's colored pencils.
Okay, page 5. No,
I think
wait.
they took away his rat tail. That's the difference.
Yeah, every 80s kid had a rat
Yep.
tail. Yeah.
It was a beautiful day, the day my cousin finally cut his off. I think he did it like right before his bar mitzvah. I think he finally cut off his rat tail. Like that was part of him becoming a man, was he cut off his rat tail.
When I had one when I was little, my grandmother was always like, I'm going to cut that thing off, Davey. Okay, page 5.
Oh, old people.
No, wait. Yes, there was a new arrival, but not a student. It was a sword. An anonymous donor sent it to us, saying it was fitting that we should have it. We didn't know what to think. Was there anything unusual about it, you ask? To tell the truth, I didn't pay much attention. As you know, I'm not a big fan of weapons, although I have to admit, it was beautiful. There were some odd markings on the hilt. Have you talked to the sensei yet? A little. He refuses to believe we are threatened. But now that you're here, I will ask him to join us. Turn to page 10.
Oh my god.
By the way, according to gun guys, a gun nor sword is a weapon. It is only when it is being used as such that it is a weapon. Otherwise, it is just a tool.
4.
Well, it can be used for anything. I mean, it can be to looked at, it can be shot, or it can be practiced with, or and so on.
You can make mashed potatoes with it.
I'm going to write my name in the wall.
But guns were the great equalizer because the sword would take years and years to master, as these 12-year-old sword masters have shown, whereas anybody can master a gun. Except for me, because I shoot with the wrong hand.
Page 10.
But I sword with the right hand.
Nice. The sensei is a slight man, with a few wisps of white hair on his head and chin. He bows as Nada introduces you, and sits at the tea table, back straight, waiting for Nada to speak. Surely you are aware of what has been occurring at our dojo lately, she begins. Yes, he replies in an even tone. But we've discussed this. In my opinion, it will pass if we remain calm. Didn't you hear the thunder today? Nada insists impatiently. It is true that in the old days, such a storm was taken as a sign of war. But, he shrugs.
Now we have Doppler.
I have these things called windows here at the dojo. Nada stands up. Sensei, we must do something. A presence here wants to destroy us. The sensei looks at you. Surely Nada's mother could see into the future when she named her child. Do you know what Nada means? Doesn't it mean the rough, open part of the sea where the navigation is difficult, you ask? Exactly, the sensei responds, smiling. But someday, perhaps when she becomes sensei herself, she will learn patience. Turn to page 16.
Oh.
Oh my god, did you pre-read this, David? Because
I did not. This is a...
I hope you've learned a lesson. Learn the number of the podcast and how many pages before the first choice.
I think the adventure of this book is getting disappointed that there's no actual choice. That's
just like real life.
Yeah.
This is the real life Choose Your Own Adventure book.
God, now it doesn't matter. The batteries have run out. You're not going to get electrocuted before you can get to a choice anyway.
Jesus Christ. Okay, spoiler alert, page 16, still no choice at the end of this.
Can we fast forward to the choice? God.
Maybe just read like a word from every paragraph.
Let's hope these backstories actually lead somewhere. Like, it'll be funny. Like, we go through 10 more pages of no choice, and then the first choice, you make it, and the next page is death.
And every choice is death. There's only the one choice.
Okay, your attention is distracted by several greenish lights the size of fists flickering above the cypresses outside. What are those, you ask? As Nada and the sensei turn to look, a bolt of lightning comes from nowhere and strikes the tallest tree, splitting it in two. You cringe at the thunderclap that immediately follows. Then there is silence. The sensei looks stunned. Nada is bristling. Now are you convinced? She demands. What more do we need? That was our sacred tree. We must defend ourselves. The sensei bows his head. Nada, you are right. I did not think such things were possible. Thunder and lightning attacking us? You would think we were back in the days of our ancestors. Perhaps, Nada says. The days of our ancestors have come forward to us. What do you mean, Nada? The sensei asks. As I was telling my friend, I feel an ancient presence here. Sakai tells me it is hostile. I don't know how else to explain it. It may be kami. What is a kami, you ask? A dirty red kami. We gotta get Joseph McCarthy in here. It's similar to a spirit, Nada says. Spirit never dies, only circulates. Everyone and everything has a spirit, and the spirit can filter through the world around us. If a kami is bothering us, it's our job to find out what it wants and get rid of it, because it's not American.
Is this a bedtime story? Because my eyes are getting heavy.
Here's a picture of the
Ooh.
weird lightning
hitting the
striking
cypress tree.
sacred
And
tree.
there's the glowing green ball of light.
Yeah.
Do these people not have rain in their part of the world? I mean, I don't remember Oklahoma getting hit by the tornado a couple weeks ago and being
Right.
whoa.
What's all that water outside?
What?
Oh, Satan.
The gods are coming after us. That's not...
And listeners, don't feel so bad that you aren't getting to see these pictures. I said that they were better than your average choose your own adventure art, but they're really not.
There's no porn
great.
on the internet.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, page 4. We're going to get a choice. We got a choice at the end of this page. Woo!
Did we just go back to page 4 from 16?
Yes, it's going all over the place here. Here we go.
Paper cuts.
We should have just read it chronologically.
I'm saying, we'd have gotten to page 4 a lot faster.
Yeah. The sensei looks back and forth between you and Nada. Then he places his palms on the table and says, Nada, I am old now. You must be the one to confront this danger. You come from a long line of warriors, though for many centuries they have practiced their arts for peace, not war. Nada bows to the sensei. So, he says, leaning back from the table, what course of action do you suggest? There is silence. The rain has stopped. You speak up. Maybe we should take a look at the sword and try to track down the person who sent it. The sensei nods. A good plan. There's another option, Nada says. She hesitates before continuing. I said the present seemed very old. We could go back in time to find the origin.
Oh, why didn't we just do that from the beginning?
You should have went to the future when there was a choice. The sensei glances sharply at Nada. She holds up her hand to stop him from speaking and says to you, I'll explain later. Let's just say we should consider it a possibility. Here's a choice.
I need you to explain now.
They just dropped the bombshell that time travel exists in this universe. If you think
Are we still in 1987?
If you think you should try to track down the donor of the sword, turn to page 79. If you think it's a good idea to go back in time, turn to 20.
Well, as a man, since I'm the one who suggested that we track down the sword owner, I would be tempted to go with my own idea. Although, time travel, come on, dude. We gotta do that.
Yeah, but according to the film Back to the Future, which was made in 1985, time travel can have some dicey consequences.
They're clearly aping off of the success. Somebody's going to go back and try to sleep with their own mother.
If there's a flux capacitor in here, I'm going to be really disappointed. Okay, time travel.
Time travel? We're going to do time travel?
Yeah.
Okay, turn to page 20. We're going...
I mean, because Nada means what? Time travel?
I guess so.
It means the
Nothing.
rocky
Nada.
part
No.
of the sea where you can't fly a boat.
That was definitely my favorite line so far.
Yeah. So we're going back in time. Gotta go back in time.
No, wait. Did we turn forward in pages or backwards in
We
pages
went
when
forward.
we did that?
We went forward.
That makes me nervous.
Oh, my brain just exploded.
We went past page 16. Holy cow. How can we go into the past, you ask? Well, Nada says, first I must tell you something. Do you remember when we first met? One of the things that brought us together was our interest in moving beyond more aggressive martial arts in favor of Aikido.
I thought they were just doing karate in California together.
No, they met in Japan.
No, they met... Oh.
He took a trip to
You're
Japan.
right. After he did a year
Apparently
of karate
with
in
no
California.
parental supervision, I'd like to add.
Nick is so into the deep lore of this book.
I am.
Well, I practiced karate in California as a 6-year-old.
Oh, 'cause
so
I
I identified.
I practiced karate. So very different discipline.
In Sheboygan when I was 10. We talked about how Aikido drew on inner balance to give us not only a means of self-defense, but also a way to live. In your case, it was karate that you left behind. And you too, you put in. Nobody says that.
Let me put something in here.
They do when they're about to time travel.
Yes, Senator, I'd like to put something in here. Let me speak. That's not entirely true. You see, my family has for many centuries been a ninja clan. I was trained in ninjutsu. It takes a moment...
Ninjutsu?
Well, they're like...
No.
That's
they
a
were
thing,
evil.
right?
Yeah, but they were evil, though. That's the thing. That's what a lot of people don't realize. They were like evil assassins back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah. It takes a moment... Bless you. It takes a moment for this to sink in. Then you ask, why did you stop? Bless you. She's allergic to no choices. One never really stops, Nada replies. I just wanted to focus on Aikido, but I did put away my tools of ninjutsu. I was afraid of what was happening. Afraid it was on a violent path. It's the old problem. If you invest too much time in learning the techniques of death, you tend to want to use them. Perhaps someday, when I am wiser, I will resume my training. You nod, absorbing this information. You'd heard amazing stories about the ninja from your mother. In addition to bujitsu, ninja were skilled at stealth, invisibility, and even magic. You'd always been curious to learn more about ninjutsu, and now it turns out your best friend is a ninja. So, turn to page 14. No choice.
There
However,
has been no time travel happening at this time.
there is a picture, and I want you to tell me what the hell you fucking think this picture is, because I have no goddamn idea.
That...
It's a ninja in a rock wall. Like, it's
yeah.
a mosaic representation of a ninja made out of rock walls.
Yeah, that's a pretty good estimation.
Or
Because it's like rocks and make a wall, but some of them are kind of light and some of them are dark, and the ones that are light kind of make a martial arts pose kind of image.
Is it rocks or is it Lucky Charms marshmallows glued on a piece of plywood?
It's hard to tell because it's in black and white, so we can't see the colors. And
Right, yeah.
we can't lick it to see if they're magically delicious.
Whatever it is, you have no choice in what it is.
This is right. We're back to 14 now. Jesus Christmas. Okay, here we go.
Time travel! Time travel!
My training included Kuji. Nada continues.
Is there a choice coming up?
There is a choice
Okay.
coming up.
Okay.
I'm about to walk out if there's not a choice coming up. It's a kind of sorcery that calls upon certain forces of the universe. Once you begin to tap into these forces, the stuff the present moment is comprised of, matter and time, starts to seem very fragile and also quite changeable.
I think that's what Obi-Wan Kenobi was studying before he died.
They're ripping off Back to the Future, they're ripping off Star Wars. This book is not original. It's like learning to open a door you didn't even know existed. You would have to understand the principle of Gen, the sensei says. Gen means illusion, Nada explains. Think of the physical world, including our bodies, as a conglomeration that can and will be dissolved. There are ways to slip between the cracks. If you can find the right vibration of matter and time, I know this is a very general description, but to go into any more detail would literally take years.
Kind of like this book.
Before the first
I'm
fucking
surprised you
choice.
didn't take like 9 pages in non-chronological order to describe how to do it.
If you would like to fake a heart attack to get out of this, turn to page 7. If you would like to keep listening because you have no better thing to do for the next week, turn to page 5. There's only one problem with your plan, Nada, the sensei says. It's too dangerous.
He's still here?
Everybody's still here. There's a class going on in the background because they've been standing around for so long. You have not practiced Kuji for years, and you know how risky it is to go into the past. But it's our best hope, not a protest. With your help, I think we could pull it off. At least we could try to find out more about this kami, if that's what it is, before you risk such a thing, the sensei asks. How, you ask? Go to the next page. There should be a glossary. There should be a glossary. Because, like, I am an old man, and I don't know what some of these words mean. Like, what's an 11-year-old kid? Nada,
Right.
Kuji, Kaji, Gen. They're not going to know this stuff.
Right. I know ninja.
Yeah, ninja. That's a thing that you chop vegetables with, isn't it?
Exactly.
Tatar Igami,
Oh my
he
god.
replies. Trance. But you or I could never be the vehicle, Nada says to the sensei. That's true, the sensei says. He looks at you. It's like being hypnotized. Nada explains to you. The kami is invited to speak through you and let its want be known. It is just as dangerous as going into the past, if not more. The kami may possess you. But we could have Tatsumo, the Shugendo priest, conduct the trance, the sensei counters.
Going into the past must be extremely dangerous because they keep dragging their feet on doing it.
Still, if it's an especially powerful kami, not his voice trails off. Choice! The second choice of this. We've been doing this for an hour, it seems like.
Let me guess, be possessed or keep going with what you want to do.
That's basically what it is. If you decide to agree to be put into a trance, turn to 58. If you would rather not and want to go straight into the past, turn to 45. So it's trying to deviate you from the original plan of going into the past, which seems so cool. I think they're like boring you into remembering why you've made the first choice,
Right.
and now you're like, what should I do now?
Time travel.
Still doing the time travel?
Yeah, time travel. So the whole trance thing is like you can do the trance thing and I'll show you how to do it.
No, the whole trans thing is that they want to find out more about the evil spirit.
The
So
kami.
they're going to, the kami. I don't
dirty
feel right
kami
about
rat.
saying that though. Yeah. So they want to invite the evil spirit to reside in you, so that you can
Deep
channel.
within you.
Why can't it reside in them and you can listen?
They
like,
just said that it wouldn't work with either of them.
It sounds like kind of a scam to me.
Yeah.
We're going to put this evil spirit in you and
I'm not really
see
trusting
what
Nada.
happens.
To conduct the seance, I will need your social security number.
And all of your voting history.
Okay.
Okay, time travel.
Turn to 45.
And I
Here we
mean it
go.
this time. Book.
Wait. Which one do we die faster with?
I don't know. You're killed immediately. You're killed immediately. Okay, 45. I think we should go into the past, you say. Please, for the love of God, I don't want to be here anymore. But how can I come with you? Saminjitsu, the sensei answers. Gesundheit, not a reply. No. Similar to what you would call hypnotism, only much more powerful. It will enable you to accompany
Did we just
Nada.
say no to the trance?
Yeah.
This is like double trance. It's like, we will put you in a trance by showing you a marathon of Mad About You. No, okay. You have one more question. How will we know what time and place to go to? The markings on the sword may help us out, Nada replies. We'll copy them down to take with us. But it's not like setting a clock. Mainly, the energy vibrating from the kami's presence and the sword will direct us. It doesn't seem, it's like,
Does the sword have a copyright date on it?
it's like
Manufactured by Mattel.
they go in the trance and wake up and a T-Rex eats them. The end.
Yeah, I thought dinosaurs were coming.
Before you go, the sensei says, do you have a change of underwear? You will have to do
It
some...
doesn't say that.
No, it doesn't say that. You will have to do some preparation. Strip down and oil up, the sensei says. No. You'll have to learn some of the basic techniques of ninjutsu.
No, there's too much learning in this book.
Please, for the love of God. I want to read this. Maybe the Choose Co. is like, we got to get kids to go outside and play more. let's create the worst Choose Your Own Adventure book so they throw it away and go outside. That'll cure childhood obesity.
It's like reading Chekhov.
Before you go, the sensei says, you have to do some preparation.
Oh, adults are always getting in the way.
You'll have to learn some of the basic techniques of ninjutsu. You will also need to learn the customs and manners of the past, so that you will not seem too much a stranger. The next week is spent preparing to set out on your search into the past. During that time, the
Okay,
spirits
change
kill
my
them
mind.
all.
Put me in a
The
freaking
end.
chance.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right.
I'm done.
There was so much rain and lightning that the whole place is destroyed and flooded now. So yeah, we should have left a little bit earlier.
All this happened because some lightning struck some trees?
Yeah, basically.
All right.
At night-
I time travel every time I see lightning, but I don't know. I didn't think that was everybody.
At night, you study Japanese history. The sensei rummages up some clothes that will enable you to pass for carpenters, which will give you an excuse to be traveling, since farmers were not supposed to leave their land.
But we don't know when we're going. How does he know what to wear?
Alright.
Yeah.
I guess they're only going by the sword, which we have not yet been told what time period it's from. He also provides each of you with a furoshiki, which you use to carry your gear. I guess it's like a backpack. Finally, the day arrives. Nada sits you down
It's a
on
non-name
bench.
brand.
That's right. Nada sits you down on a bench in the dojo. After meditating together, she stands opposite you and fixes you with her eyes. Using the technique of samanjitsu, she has you count down with her. 9, 8, 7, 6. Turn to page 13.
Seriously? To
No
find out what
choice.
comes after 6?
5. Turn to
five.
page 74.
For 1, turn to page 3. 13. Oh my God. You're killed immediately. The end.
Oh my god.
We got a choice coming here. Okay, the next thing you know, you open your eyes and find yourself standing beside Nada in a rice paddy. Steep wooded hills rise on either side of you. Let's go, Nada says.
Oh, so we're in the past now.
I guess, that's all it took.
That was anticlimactic.
You just close your eyes and count. How do we know where to go? We don't, Nada replies. This is really a bad idea. I want my mommy, Nada says. No, we don't, Nada replies, wading to an embankment. What do you mean, you ask? How can we know where to go? We must let ourselves wander, and sooner or later we'll find what we need. But don't you have a plan, you insist? Yes, she says. My plan is to wander aimlessly until we find something or someone who looks like they know something. It's really a life lesson, actually, if you think about
I
it.
thought there was supposed to be like a week-long orientation into
Nope,
time travel.
Didn't learn anything about that.
Instead, it was just like, close your eyes, boom.
How would that help?
No plan, no Fujiki or whatever that thing was.
Some plan, you mutter. Yeah, Nick, you're really getting into character here.
Completely unprepared.
Following Nada up the embankment to a road running along the edge of the valley. Until now, Nada has seemed to know exactly what to do next. You begin to wonder what you've gotten yourself into.
You begin to wonder?
Wonder, yes, wonder.
I mean, we are wandering.
Yeah, you are
but-
Wondering and wondering.
Where the paddy stops, the valley narrows. All is quiet except for the trickling water of a creek. You're approaching a bend in the road when some wild geese in a pond take off in startled flight. You wander, what frightened them. Suddenly, you want to dive away from the road. Choice, here we go.
Okay.
Okay, this guy is like really scared of lightning and geese.
Maybe they're like ancient robo-geese.
Maybe.
That's why he's afraid of them. Or they're like ancient geese from like prehistoric times and they're like as big as a house.
Okay,
You don't
I would
know
be
that.
scared of them.
If you grab Nada and dive into the woods, turn to 8. If you decide you're getting too jumpy, turn to 90.
I think we're getting too jumpy.
I think we're getting too jumpy.
But is push Nada into the woods an option? So I'm kind of done with her.
Fake a heart attack, turn to page 3. Okay, we're going to page 90.
Ooh.
Very far ahead. Oh.
Something's about to happen.
You shake off your premonition and vow not to be so jumpy. A second later, flames burst all around you. Every way you turn, you see fire. Nada pulls you out of the road, but already a net has landed over your head. You're trapped. 5 figures clad in black ninja clothes emerge from the woods and move in on you. You have no idea why, but you're about to be the target of a ninja assassination. The end! You guys just got ninja'd!
Death by ninja.
Jesus.
Thank God these ninjas put us out of our misery.
So
They
something
saw us in the
finally
middle
happens.
of a dry story. Kill them now!
That was the worst. What were you going to say? Something finally happened.
Finally happens where we can make some real decisions and it's over.
That was the worst.
Like, if that was page 2, I would have been into this, minus the death. I mean, because then we could have really done something.
That was the worst Choose Your Own Adventure book ever.
Are you going to
That was
start
horrible.
pre-screening?
That was like 20 pages of pointless backstory and then death.
I'm bringing Neil
we
Patrick
made
Harris
a
next
total
time.
of 3 choices.
Yeah.
And 2 of them were like repeating the original choice.
Yeah.
And the last one was "You're dead."
Oh, God. I hope the Trump ChooseCo is the next target of the Trump administration, because that corporation is getting out of hand.
You need to tweet him and hashtag this book company.
Alrighty, on that note, this has been episode 29 of the Penthouse Basements Podcast. I'd like to thank
Rachel.
And Nick.
and your fearless host, David Lamason. Thanks for listening, and sayonara. And now an epilogue concerning the Choose Your Own Adventure debacle known as Secret of the Ninja. After we were done recording, we found that yes, there was a glossary of terms in the back of the book. However, we contend that this would have made no difference. Any kid reading the book would have still been totally lost and not known what the hell was going on either way. Also, what gives, ChooseCo? You're going to make some kid have to flip back and forth between the glossary and the story? How are they supposed to get into it? ChooseCo, you've sorely disappointed us. For shame.